So today we're going to take a quick trip down to Deer Lodge, Montana. It's one of the more historical spots around the state, and we're going to show you around the area and check out the real estate down there. Let's go take a look. So we'll start our trip down to Deer Lodge today, heading out of Missoula on Interstate 90. We're heading east right here. This is known as the Hellgate Canyon, and if you ever watch a Montana Grizzly football game on TV, the stadium's right over to the right here. But this drive is one of the prettiest drives on an interstate highway you'll ever do. It follows the Clark Fork River all the way down to basically Deer Lodge, and you're in this canyon kind of small area the whole way. It's just very scenic all the way to Deer Lodge right along the river. And it's 80 miles from Missoula to Deer Lodge, and you don't go through any other big towns along the way. There's a couple real small towns like Clinton, Drummond that you go past on the interstate, but pretty much it's rural the whole way and just scenic the whole way. And it's a nice time to drive it in the summer, but when you drive this road in the winter, you need to be careful because it can get pretty ugly. I've had some hairy experiences on this interstate during the winter. You get whiteouts and the semis going by, and you just need to watch yourself when you're taking this route during the winter. So once you make your way down closer to Deer Lodge, this canyon kind of opens up to a big valley, and the valley consists of Deer Lodges down there, Warm Springs, and then Anaconda before you go around the corner and head over to Butte. But it's a big open, very wide open valley. And what Deer Lodge is mainly known for is it was the headquarters of the Grant-Kohrs Ranch, which is now a National Historical Site. And once upon a time, this ranch was 10 million acres, so it took up pretty much all of southwestern Montana. And the ranch was started back in 1862 by Grant-Kohrs, and he became wealthy by selling beef to all the miners that were out here mining for gold. And he had 50,000 head of cattle at one point, and like I said, he had 10 million acres. And if you want to visit this ranch and take a tour, they still have a lot of the old historical buildings and homes. And it's right in downtown Deer Lodge to get in there. I would strongly suggest it if you're into Montana history. It's a pretty cool little area and something to check out. And one more thing that I didn't say, it's actually still a working cattle ranch. And so you can see the operation going on if you're touring around out there. And speaking of working cattle ranches, also in this area, it used to be part of the Grant-Kohrs 10 million acres, but now it's 28,000 acres. It's the Rock Creek Cattle Company, which is now a private 18-hole golf course and a development. There's some homes back there, and it too is also a working cattle ranch. But if you get a chance, I've played the golf course. It's just absolutely beautiful. And again, just another spectacular part of Montana. Rock Creek obviously runs right through there, and it's just couldn't be a more beautiful spot. And if you get the chance, you should check that out as well. So as we take a tour down the main street of Deer Lodge, the main part of town, you will notice the old prison. And this is one part of Deer Lodge that you don't want to end up, is it is now home to the state prison for Montana. The one on Main Street is the original one. The new one, the one that's in use now, is kind of outside of town a ways. I did not do a tour of that, but if you want to drive up there, you certainly can. So let's talk about the real estate in Deer Lodge over the past year. There have been 15 homes that have sold in Deer Lodge, and they range from a price of $50,000 all the way up to $860,000. And the one for $50,000 was a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. It was only 672 square feet. It was built in 1920, so an older place, and it was on just over a 1/4 acre right in town. And the one for $860,000 was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath house. It was 2,360 square feet, and it was located on 3.7 acres. So I also looked up some other real estate prices in the area, and I mentioned earlier the town of Anaconda, which is south of Deer Lodge. And in Anaconda last year, there were 25 homes sold, and they ranged in price from $225,000 all the way up to $1.4 million. And the house for $225,000 was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,860 square foot house on 1.5 acres. And the house that was sold for $1.4 million was a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,678 square foot house that was on 2 acres. And as far as Anaconda goes, that's another very historical town. I didn't drive into town or get any footage of it, but you can't miss Anaconda. There's a 585-foot smokestack that still exists, so you can see that from all over the valley. And once you get into town, there's just all kinds of history with the mining industry. They worked hand in hand with Butte during the whole Copper Kings era, and it's kind of a cool town to check out.
Thank you for watching our video. Please call, text, or email for more information, and don't forget to watch our other videos about Montana.